up on Good Morning Longhorns. Texas holds on to its #1 spot after defeating ULM over the weekend. All things football as Texas gears up for its first SEC matchup.
In academic news, U.S. News and World Report ranks UT as the top public university in Texas. We'll tell you more about the rankings.
Ballet Austin is coming to the Long Center again this weekend. Good Morning Longhorns talked with the choreographer and debut dancer.
Plus, it's Hispanic Heritage Month. Find out how the Austin Public Library is showing its support.
And finally, stay tuned for a special football trivia segment. We'll find out who knows our team best. All this and more coming up right now on Good Morning Longhorns. Good Morning Longhorns for this Wednesday, September 25th. I'm Ella Danina.
And I'm Lauren Peck. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. How are you doing this morning, Ella?
I'm good. It's starting to feel better outside. I think the first day of fall was Friday.
Yeah,
so.
It's like getting a little cooler in the morning, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, hopefully it stays.
Hopefully it stays, exactly.
Well, kicking things off this morning, the Longhorns crushed ULM this week with a 51-3 win. The crowd was the 5th largest crowd in DKR history, with more than 102,000 people in attendance Saturday night.
Arch Manning was named starting quarterback for the game and did not disappoint. Manning started rough with an interception early in the first quarter, but picked up the pace, ending the half with a score of 28-3, and eventually ending the game in a blowout. We'll have more highlights and everything you need to know before our first SEC game coming up.
Football isn't the only UT sport on the rise. Yesterday morning, Good Morning Longhorns spoke exclusively with Texas beach volleyball coach Stein Metzger. Coach Stein talked at length about the culture of the team and their upcoming season this spring. Here's a quick preview.
We're really creating our culture from scratch. Things that are critical to our coaching staff and something that we're trying to implement with our team is cohesiveness, being together, having a common goal. But also we need to be extremely competitive with each other.
Of course, there's plenty more to talk about when it comes to the Longhorns. We'll have more about sports coming up later in the show.
UT isn't just #1 in football, it's also one of the best public universities in the country overall. The Longhorns took the title of Best Public University in Texas in this year's U.S. News and World Report. UT also tied with the University of Florida for the 7th best public university, 2 spots higher than last year. Among all national universities, UT ranked number 30. Several programs like the Macomb School of Business, Cockrell School of Engineering, and Computer Science ranked among the best in the country. In other campus news, UT Austin has promoted Shane Streepy to Chief of Police of the UT Police Department. Streepy takes over following the abrupt resignation of former Police Chief Eve Stevens. Following the decision, President Jay Hartzell praised Streepy's outstanding leadership and experience in policing UT's large and highly connected campus community.
The FBI arrested a man last Monday who is facing cyberstalking charges after allegedly sending numerous threatening messages to 2 high-level University of Texas employees. The Nevada resident, Brian Solomon, faces the charges after allegedly sending physical and sexual assault threats for several months. The 2 unnamed employees seem to have ties to the athletics department, according to the federal court records. Alleged threats included attending to the victims' events to massacre, quote, anyone present. Solomon pleaded guilty to the charges and a protection order was entered against him.
Now to California, where Governor Gavin Newsom has vetoed a bill that would allow undocumented students attending public California universities to obtain on-campus jobs. Newsom said he believes in accessible education for undocumented students, but the possibility of allowing on-campus jobs is too much of a legal risk. The veto comes after a previous dismissal of state-supported housing loans for undocumented students. UC leadership said it is open to working with legislature for other options to help support the students.
The race for the White House came to Texas this week, as Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff made stops in San Antonio and here in Austin. On Monday, our TSTV cameras were there as Emhoff encouraged voters to turn out to the polls and elect Kamala Harris to the presidency and Colin Allred to the Senate. The crowd heard from other Texas political figures, including Congressman Greg Casar, national political social media influencer Olivia Juliana, and San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg. Emhoff is also fundraising in Austin and Houston this week.
And as Election Day gets closer, Texans, of course, are gearing up to vote on November 5th. To increase participation among young voters, we're here to remind you of some upcoming deadlines. The last day to register is October 7th. Early voting will take place in person from October 21st through November 1st. The last day to apply for ballot by mail is October 25th, and remember that if you do choose to mail in your vote, make sure that the ballot is received by November 5th or 6th.
Plus, remember to check your voter registration online, the Texas Secretary of State website, to make sure that you are all set. You can register to vote by picking up forms from the Moody CMA or the PCL and mailing them in. On Election Day or when you decide to cast your vote, make sure to have an eligible form of ID. Your student ID will not be accepted. For more information, visit the Texas Voters Instagram at TXVotes_CEA and follow the link in their bio for frequently asked questions and tabling information. Don't forget to register and cast your vote.
U.S. Senator Ted Cruz and his Democratic opponent, U.S. Representative Colin Allred, have agreed to a televised debate on October 15th at 7 p.m. The event will take place in downtown Dallas. Cruz, a Texas Republican, is seeking a third term and has been ahead in polling by single digits throughout the race.
Recently, though, the numbers from the Morning Consult show Cruz trailing behind Allred by 1 percentage point. That poll result is still within the margin of error, but it is also the first poll to show Allred ahead. Happening right here in Austin today, mayoral candidates will sit down for a forum on mayor issues facing Austin voters. The event will take place from 12:30 to 2 at Austin PBS with a free live stream on YouTube. TSTV News will keep you updated on anything noteworthy said there today.
This Friday is the show opening of a classic performance by Ballet Austin. It is also the day a UT student will debut as a main company dancer. Our Paulina Pearson and Itza Martinez were able to learn more about this special feat.
Where ballet meets beauty and beasts, choreographer Stephen Mills showcases his 2015 performance, Belle, A Tale of Beauty and the Beast. Good Morning Longhorns was able to talk to Mills and a dancer in the show, where they tell us all about the magic and the non-traditional twist on the classic.
So the beast is really the beast inside of all of us, not some hairy, abstract, weird thing, but really something that was more relevant to contemporary telling.
And what you see behind me right now is the Long Center for Performing Arts, where UT student Alex Owens will be debuting as the main company dancer for Ballet Austin this weekend.
There's basically 3 tiers to Ballet Austin. There's the Butler Fellowship Program, which is the trainee program. Then there's the second company, which is the apprentice program, and then there's the main company. So I've spent time as a trainee and an apprentice. Those are both sort of like 1 to 2 year programs. As a main company dancer, it's very, very fulfilling, very surreal. I mean, I moved away when I was 16 to go to a ballet school, so I've dedicated a lot of time, hard work. It's very much so a look ma, I made it kind of a moment for me for sure.
Alex is a senior advertising major here at the Moody College of Communication, and you can watch her along with the other talented performers this weekend for the showing of Belle, A Tale of Beauty and the Beast. For Good Morning Longhorns, I'm Itza Martinez.
Tickets to Belle, A Tale of Beauty and the Beast are available on Ballet Austin's website. Before we head to break, we're excited to announce TSTV News is launching a weekly newsletter. Newsroom Notes is your recap of the week's news delivered straight to your inbox every Friday morning by the TSTV News team. Head to tstv.news to sign up.
After the break, we'll check on the forecast for the week. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. With fall just around the corner, let's hope that the weather is getting a little cooler. Joining us on set to give us our weather is Brooke Patterson. Good morning, Brooke.
Thanks, Lauren, and good morning, Longhorns. This week is all about the 80s in Austin. Today, we've got sunny skies with a high of 89 and a low of 71. Tomorrow looks just as pleasant with a high of 85 and a low of 65, so you might want to get outside and enjoy it. Friday will be a great day to catch some rays with a high of 86, a low of 62, and a UV index of 8, so don't forget your sunscreen if you're planning to be outside. Saturday's game day, and we're looking at a warm 3:15 p.m. kickoff with a high of 87 and a low of 65. Looks like some perfect weather to take down Mississippi State. Sunday is more of the same, with sunny skies, a high of 89, and a low of 64. If you're a fan of consistent weather, you'll be happy next Monday and Tuesday too, with highs in the 80s and more lows in the 60s. That's all for this week. I'm Brooke Patterson in the Weather Center. Back to you.
Back here now in sports, Arch Manning was not the only player making moves in the Longhorns' 51-3 win. Jaden Blue had 25 rushes for 124 yards and 4 total touchdowns. Isaiah Bond was the leading receiver with 2 catches for 75 yards. The Longhorns' defense joined the scoring with a safety from Leona Lafau.
This was their first safety since 2021 against Rice. Texas has made quite the debut this season. They stay at the #1 spot in the AP poll as they start their SEC conference games this week. Did you go to the game this past weekend, Ella?
I did. It was my favorite game for sure.
Oh, awesome. I am not a fan of football games, but it's a night game, so I was there to get out of the heat, and we're #1, so of course.
I was upset they didn't have the drone show last week.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
Well, now boasting a 4-0 record, there was a lot of action on the field Saturday night. TSTV sports reporter Robert Gonsolin covered the game from the sidelines and has more on how it all went down and which players stood out.
In their first matchup after being ranked #1 in the AP poll last Sunday, Texas football was back in DKR again for a non-conference bout with ULM. Facing some injury problems, the Longhorns were without key players Quinn Ewers and Quintravion Wisner. But one player who was back on the field, however, was star running back Jaden Blue, and he stole the show. Leading up to Texas's final non-conference game Saturday night, it was still a mystery whether starting running back Jaden Blue would make his return from an ankle injury he suffered against Michigan 2 weeks before. However, on the first drive of the game, it was clear the Houston native was back after he took all the handoffs every time the ball was run. Midway through the first quarter, Texas put together their first scoring drive. Along with the help of a 56-yard pass from Arch Manning to Isaiah Bond, the Longhorns handed the ball off to Blue every play until he scored the game's first points by punching it in from the 1-yard line. Manning, who made his first career start at the collegiate level, connected with 11 different receivers and threw for over 250 yards. He talked about how having so many options to rely on can be helpful.
I think just having so many playmakers around you, it's definitely brings up the comfort level for me. We had a bunch of different receivers catch balls tonight, so just getting them in space and having them make plays is huge.
Tonight's score of 51-3 showcases just the third highest amount of points the Longhorns have scored in games so far this season. But as non-conference play wraps up, a new era begins. Texas will be back in DKR next Saturday to play Mississippi State and begin SEC play, a time of the season where they'll face off against tougher opponents. That'll wrap things up here tonight in DKR, however. Reporting live for TSTV Sports, I'm Robert Gonsolin.
As we mentioned, this week is the Longhorns' first game in the SEC. They'll face Mississippi State at 3:15 p.m. on Saturday. The Horns are currently unsure of Ewers' status for the debut game. He has been back in practice, but Coach Sark said it's going to be a work in progress.
Sark also says that he feels good about where the Longhorns stand with the upcoming game and that Arch Manning's performance was encouraging. We'll see what happens on Saturday.
Speaking of Saturday, since our report last week, students are still struggling to get football tickets. After week 4 of the season, some students have yet to claim tickets at all. Leah Pavlik, a senior who has attended every home game since coming to UT in 2021, is one of those students.
I've never missed a UT home game, and then additionally, I went to a lot of the away games. I even went to the Sugar Bowl last year, and I find it extremely frustrating that as a senior now, I have not been able to get a ticket.
To combat this, UT is cracking down on ticket resale and warning students that tickets are expected to sell out quickly. Big ticket holders who violate any rules will have their ticket revoked for the rest of the school year.
Well, looking ahead, our Texas OU game isn't too far away, and we're getting you ready for one of the best parts of the weekend, the State Fair. The fair has announced a list of new food items on the menu. This list includes caramel macchiato fritters, churro crumble cheesecake, cookie butter nachos, fat bacon pickle fries, fried matcha, Lay's potato chip drink, pork belly ceviche tamales, and much more.
UT students can try some of these unique creations while attending the Red River Showdown in just over 2 weeks at the Cotton Bowl. What is a fried matcha?
I have no idea.
Like what format, physical format is that even in?
I have no idea. Are you going?
I think I'm gonna go. Last year I went, I tried like a fried cheesecake. It was interesting, but
You didn't like it?
not really. But I'll try it again.
Yeah, we'll see what the fried matcha is.
Yeah. After the break, we'll give you a look into events around the city to honor Hispanic Heritage Month. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Good Morning Longhorns. This is for all the live music and Willie Nelson fans. On October 17th, Austin City Limits TV will host the country legend for the show's 50th birthday bash at the Long Center. This tribute goes way back. Nelson was on the pilot episode back in 1974. The event is free to attend, but tickets are limited. Those who registered last week will be notified tomorrow and Friday if they were selected to go.
But don't worry, the whole performance will be taped and available in early 2025. Longtime executive producer Terry Lacona, who you might have seen on GMLH 2 weeks ago, said there would be no Austin City Limits without Willie Nelson. Simple as that. Another legendary TV show is turning 50 this year and bringing in big stars to help celebrate.
Saturday Night Live announced the lineup for its first 5 shows. Guests include music stars like Ariana Grande, Jelly Roll, Chappell Roan, Billie Eilish, and Stevie Nicks. This season's hosts include Michael Keaton and John Mulaney. SNL debuted back on October 11th, 1975, and has aired more than 900 episodes. It all kicks off this Saturday night on NBC.
The Austin Public Library celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month Sunday with various events throughout the day. Attendees at the Central Library location enjoyed arts and crafts, food, and live music.
Our Anish Tiwari has the story.
This past Sunday, the Austin Public Library recognized Hispanic Heritage Month, hosting several activities including crafting paper marigolds, screen printing, and a cooking demonstration. The APL also showcased art painted by a local Latino artist depicting pre-Hispanic mythology. Rounding out the afternoon, local Latin folk musician Javier Jara performed a collection of his songs. The library also collaborated with the local Mexicarte Museum to bring an interactive arts and crafts exhibit. Mexicarte educator Ale Moreno says she's most proud of the event's impact on local youth.
I didn't grow up with these kinds of programs, so I think it's really cool to be able to give kids the power and the knowledge to know how to make their own wearable art, and just kind of also bring good mentors, good role models into the classroom of people that kind of look like them, younger, to let the kids know that you can in fact make a living out of art.
The Austin Public Library and Mexicarte Museum continue their celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month throughout September and October. Anish Tiwari, TSTV News.
Calling all coffee lovers, Austin's third annual coffee festival is kicking off this Saturday and Sunday at the Palmer Events Center from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Attendees can enjoy live music as they sip on their favorite coffee from vendors including Farah Coffee, Trippy Butt Coffee, Barrett's Coffee Roasters, and much more.
You're also encouraged to bring your favorite reusable coffee mug to reduce waste. Grab your tickets before they sell out, but if you can't make it, stay tuned for next week's show where I'll be speaking with some of the vendors from the event.
When we come back, we'll be joined by Good Morning Longhorns entertainment producer Devin to test our knowledge about the history of Texas football. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Finally this morning, we're joined by our Devin D. Michelle. What do you have for us in store this morning?
Good morning, guys. This morning, I'll be taking you through some Texas football trivia to celebrate holding the #1 spot for 2 consecutive weeks. So, let's test our football knowledge here at Good Morning Longhorns. Starting off strong with our first question. When was the last time the Longhorns were ranked #1 football team in college football? The options are 2016, 2002, 1988, and 2008. What do you guys think?
I'm ringing in. Okay, I'm not like a huge UT football fan, but this is all over social media, so I'm going to say 2008.
That is correct. The answer is 2008.
Yay!
Question number 2. Which Longhorns player won the Heisman Trophy in 2005? Dating it back a little bit. The options are Vince Young, Colt McCoy, Ricky Williams, and Earl Campbell.
I don't know those people.
I'm gonna say Vince Young.
That is correct.
Nice.
Question number 3. How many conference championships have the Longhorns won in the Big 12 Conference? We've got 3.
I don't know.
5, 8, or 12.
Let's go with 5.
5?
Good guess.
I'm
Feeling good with 5?
Feeling good. I back you on that one.
Okay, awesome. You guys are correct. The answer is 5.
Okay.
Next up, which coach led the Longhorns to their most recent national championship in 2005?
I know this. This is Mac Brown. For sure.
How do people know the names of coaches?
Correct, it is Mac Brown. That is a very notable game. Which player was named Offensive Player of the Week after the Longhorns win against the Michigan Wolverines? This is a great game. Did you guys go to the Michigan game?
No.
Oh, I was there.
You were there?
Yeah.
Oh,
of course I went to Michigan for the game. It was amazing. Okay, sorry. Getting lost. The options are Isaiah Bond, Arch Manning, Quinn Ewers, or Matthew Golden.
Ooh.
I mean, it has to be Quinn.
Who else would it be?
You're correct. The answer is Quinn Ewers. Next question is, where does the infamous Red River rivalry take place, and what team do we play against?
Oh, we talked about this today.
Yeah. OU in Dallas.
That is correct. In Dallas, Texas, we play Oklahoma University.
And we're going to win.
Yes, we will.
Yes. Well, that's all the time that we have for this Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ella Danina.
And I'm Lauren Peck. For Devin, Brooke, and all of our Good Morning Longhorns team, we'll see you back here next week for more news all the time. You can follow us on Instagram at Good Morning Longhorns and check us out at tstv.news online. Have a great Wednesday, Longhorns.